Welcome to the Intentional Budget. Welcome back if you've been here before. My name's Helen and this is my channel that I use to document my journey using a cash budgeting system. So I am now coming up to the end of my third month doing it, which I cannot believe how fast it's gone. So my weeks for cash budgeting finish on a Friday, start the next Saturday morning. So tomorrow is the end of my final week in September, which was a 5-week month for me. And then I start October. So what I'm doing now is just a quick budget with me while I work out my money, what I've got available for cash budgeting in October and what I am going to have available at the start of the month to put into sinking funds and what might be available for the rest of the month. So thank you to everybody that has watched the videos so far, that's liked, subscribed, commented. It's really lovely to have you along. And yeah, it just helps so much with this. It really helps keep you on track. So I'm really grateful. Okay, so I just have these templates. I did them myself. I didn't order anything. I just kind of figured it out for myself. And actually, I did a bit of planning for October before, and it's a pretty quiet month for me, which I'm not complaining about. That'll be nice. September was really busy. Lots of social stuff, lots of birthdays, lots of family stuff. So it's getting colder. It's getting, the weather's getting a bit nasty and it's dark earlier. So I am quite happy with having a stay-at-home kind of a month. So yeah, all I've really got to plan for is I've got one work trip away and I'm getting my hair done. There's a couple of other social bits that need to go in here as the month goes on, but nothing major. So let me zoom in a little bit and then get my summary out. So I have pre-populated some of this with the numbers because I can't remember them basically, and but I haven't done any of the sums yet. So essentially my salary has gone up a little bit this month. Can you see that? Is that in focus? Okay. So yeah, my salary's gone up a little bit this month. I think that's more than it will usually be. I think the salary increase should have been for a little bit of last month as well, so I was owed a bit extra. When I do this monthly budget, all I budget for is that salary, that income that comes in there. I know I'm going to get some money in on expenses. We're all getting that rebate on our energy this month, but I don't include that in this bit. This is just me budgeting for my salary and what I'm going to do with it. So I've got, is this in focus? I should be better at this by now, really, shouldn't I? I've been doing it for a couple of months now, but anyway. So I've written in the kind of figures of what's coming in and out of each of my bank accounts, because all of this is standing orders and monthly bills and stuff, so I know how much it's going to be. So I carried forward a balance of £19 in my main current account. Oh, helps if I do. Is the light clashing on this? It is, isn't it? Okay. So yeah, had £19 and then the salary goes in. And then coming out of that, my main expenses are 1985.52. 1,000 of that is being moved over into my expense account. So my kind of grown-up expenses, all my bills and stuff, are £985.52 a month. And then I have £675 in savings and investments that goes out of that main account, and £104.92 in charity donations, which leaves me with £367.65. So I think what I'm going to do at the start of the month is put £150 into sinking funds. So I'll just put that there for now, because the majority of my variable spending for cash comes out of the other bank account. So if I put £150 into sinking funds, that leaves me with £217.65 in that bank account. So I'm going to budget for carrying a buffer of £17.65 forward and putting £200 there for spending out of bank. I'm not planning on spending all of that, and I'm really going to try and not, but I have got a few things I need to buy. I need to buy a safe, and I need to buy some waterproof shoes to walk the dog in that aren't wellies, because I live by the beach and wellies don't last very long with salt water, I find. I forgot, I threw them away at the end of, you know, when the weather got better, and I've had a few very wet dog walks lately, so I need to replace those. So yeah, that should be okay for that account. And now this other account is the one that the majority of my spending is done from in terms of my variables and stuff. So I brought forward £130.35 in that account, added in the 1,000. There's only 3 standing orders, direct debits that go out of that one, which leaves me with £866.13 to budget for my variable cash expenses. So I allow £450 a month for food and spending. Rocco is the dog, he gets £100 a month, and I allow £100 a month for petrol. I'm getting my hair done. I'm going to budget £80 for that, because I always end up drawing my money out from the cash point, and yeah, £5 notes aren't really an option there, where around here. So okay, so I've got 866.13. So if I take 650 off that and then take the 80 off that, that leaves me with 136 £13. So again, up here, I'm going to budget that in terms of, let's have £16.13 as the buffer and 120 as spending coming out of that bank account. The heating, in terms of other income that should be coming in, my expenses, I will cash stuff that into sinking funds when it arrives, but for the purposes of this, I like to know that I can do everything I need to do in the month just on my salary, and everything else is extra going into sinking funds. The heating rebate, I think it's about £66, isn't it? Again, that will go straight into sinking funds when it comes, so I'm not going to add it to the budget now. So for the purposes of this, I will do, hang on, October is a October's a 4-week month for me. So I'm going to do £120 the first week, and then 110 for the next 3 for my food and spending. I cash stuff the dog, petrol and my hair in full at the beginning of the month and just take that money out. That £150 I'm also going to cash stuff tomorrow when I do my first October cash stuffing. I'm not gonna, well no, actually I can. That's my initial budget for cash stuffing, isn't it? Anything else that I add in will become part of the actual at the end of the month. Oh, can you see these numbers? Am I talking away and you can't see what I'm doing? Sorry. So tomorrow I need to take out what, 120, 220, 320, 400, 550 is what I'm going to cash stuff for my first week. And then the subsequent weeks, really, in terms of my variable spending, it's just the food and the spending I need to stuff. And as this other money arrives in my account, my expenses, my heating rebate, I will add that into my sinking fund cash stuff figures for whichever week it arrives in. Hopefully that makes sense. So the only other thing that I need to do is fill in this cash envelope log for the first week. So that is going to be £120 that week. And I only put in here my variable envelopes. Oh, variable envelopes, sorry. I'm not kind of including the sinking funds in this. This is just how I keep track on a weekly basis of what I've spent, if I'm carrying things forward in the dog and the petrol envelope, and what's left out of my food and spending envelope each week goes into either savings challenges or sinking funds. So yeah, that's how that works. So that's all ready, that's right, isn't it? 120, 100, 180, yes it is. And then I had a bit of a think and I came up with some goals for October, because I'm finding that it really helps. It's really helped me to write things down. And I had initially thought, I did this at lunchtime, and I had initially thought I wanted my sinking fund goal to be 325 for October. But now I've thought about it, I'm going to put £150 in tomorrow. There's £130 in expenses coming, and 100 of that I'm going to put into these variable sinking funds, and the £66 of energy rebate, which between those is 100, 250, 310, say. So actually having a goal of 325 wasn't much of a challenge. It wasn't really challenging me to save much from my, you know, my weekly variable spending envelopes, and it wasn't really challenging me to make sure that I had some money left here from my spending at bank columns at the end of the month. So I'm going to up that to 450. I want to put £450 into my sinking funds in October. The other thing I've put is to complete the annual bills and subscription list, which is this. And the reason I want to complete it is because I thought I had, and then I got caught out in September by an annual bill that I'd completely forgotten about. So I want to really sit down and look through everything and make sure that's right. I don't want to have any unplanned spending on clothes and things like that. I have got a couple of things that I know I need to buy, like the shoes that are going to be a bit more waterproof than what I've got now, but other than that, I don't want to. I want to cancel my TV license. I don't watch TV. I never watch telly. I watch YouTube, but it's never live, and I read, and I've just been paying my TV license as long as I've had a house, basically, and it's a complete waste of money. I was trying to remember the other day when the last time I turned my television on was, and I think it was last Christmas. So yeah, that is a total waste of money for me. I'm getting rid of it. And then I also want to have £150 left from my bank spending. So at the moment I've got £320 allocated here for spending out my bank. So that's having just over half of it left, which I think is reasonable. I don't necessarily want to include that in that £450, maybe some of it, but I would just like to have it left at the end of the month, and maybe that means that there is a slightly higher buffer in my two different accounts moving forward. I don't particularly want, you know, I wouldn't want more than say £50 in each account at the end of the month, but maybe get that buffer up a little bit. So yeah, that is what I'm going to plan to do in October. I'm finding that doing this bit is really helping me. I don't know, just writing it down and telling somebody. For the purposes of this, everybody watching this is the somebody I'm telling, because nobody else really knows that I do this. So yeah, it really helps. So that's what I'm hoping to do in October. Add another £450 into my sinking funds, and come out the end of the month with a bit more of a buffer in each of my bank accounts. So I hope that made sense. I think that's everything I need to do. I will be back tomorrow to close out September and do my first cash stuffing for October, when I have been to the bank and, well, been to the cash point and got all that money out. So yeah, thanks very much for watching. I hope you're all okay, and I hope that I will see you soon. Okay, bye bye.